is a full-day workshop or half a day workshop or one
day, and to all of you participants who have taken time off on a second Saturday to join us for such an interesting topic. Today, I am extremely proud that at FFAI, under the Women's Wing, with the blessings of our chairman, Shri Dushyant Mulani ji, our honorary secretary, Shri Sudeep De, our chairman-elect, Shri Amit Kamath ji, and our office bearers, we are launching a new 3-month program on emotional intelligence. What is emotional intelligence, you may ask? It is the ability to understand and manage your emotions as well as the emotions of others. It is also known as emotional quotient, EQ. In today's increasingly complex and globalized supply chain landscape, emotional intelligence has become a vital competency for professionals tasked with managing multifaceted relationships, leading diverse teams, and adapting to rapidly changing market demands. Mastering the ability to recognize, understand, and regulate one's emotions as well as those of others is crucial for maintaining clear communications, reducing conflicts, and fostering a productive work environment, especially in our supply chain and logistics industry. With this, I would now like to invite our chairman-elect, Shri Amit Kamath to say a few words. Amit Bhav, over to you.
Good morning, good afternoon, everybody. And this is Amit Kamath. I am chairman-elect of FFAI. Chaitali has also made our introduction, so I won't go into it more in detail. We at FFAI, we try to organize courses for participants on various topics apart from our daily routine, custom clearance and logistics, on different topics to improve the performance of the participants and the attendees at their workplace. You all are aware that we function in a very diverse environment where work pressures are high, where we have deadlines to meet, targets to achieve. We have tasks to complete on a yesterday basis. So the atmosphere in any organization is quite, I wouldn't say in a negative word, but it's quite a dynamic environment where there is a lot of pressure and volatility. So in such circumstances, managing what happens when you are in a pressure environment of pressure, you are in an environment of I would say stressful environment to achieve your target, your deadlines, your emotions are running quite high, and these emotions can get the better of you or the worse of you. So as the you are aware of the word intelligent quotient. So similarly, there is a very important word, emotional quotient that Chaitali mentioned, which is known as EQ. So we say that when one person's EQ, emotional quotient is high, he tends to look at situations more emotionally, becomes more emotional in certain conditions or certain situations, which may be or may not be good for himself and for his performance in an organization. So this session is meant to for you to understand your emotional quotient, how emotional are you, and uh, how to improvise on your emotional quotient, which is important for your interaction within your team members, your subordinates, your superiors, your clients, to foster increased productivity, as Chaitali mentioned, and to build a strong team. What will be the key takeaways of this session will be that you will be able to get an insight into yourself, that is your emotions, how emotional are you. You will be trained in the course of those sessions to manage your emotions, to control it, to look at things more practically, and channelize your emotions towards a progressive uh, manner or to achieve the desired results. Communication, of course, is the key. Better communication always helps. And reacting, normally what we do is we react to situations immediately. When anybody addresses you or you hear something, your reaction becomes immediate. And that reaction is more often than not out as a result of your emotions or your emotional quotient. So controlling your reaction, channelizing your reactions in a way that it is conducive to a stronger bond, fostering stronger bond among your teammates, a stronger and better relationship with your clients is of most important. One has to be empathetic to build close relationships and close relationships at the workplace so that the entire environment at the workplace becomes more congenial, more desirable, and a happier place to be in, and that reflects in your productivity. Having said that, I think I will leave it. I would leave it to the panelist of this session, Ms. Rama Titi, who is the expert on this topic, to conduct the session. Before that, I welcome our Director General, Dr. Pramod Sant, and our Honorary Secretary and my colleague, Mr. Sudeep De, who have spared time to attend this session. Dr. Sant or Sudeep, if you would like to share a few words, I would over to you. Thank you so much, friends.
Yeah. Sudeepji, you would like to go first?
No, nothing extra. Just to thank the participant and the speaker for coming forward to take this session. Are you audible? Yeah.
Yes.
And so thank you all for joining, all the participants. Thanks to you for coming forward to take this series of sessions. I'm really looking forward to it. I do not have much insight in it, so it would be an interesting session for me. So maybe we can, during the session or after the session, maybe we can have a dialogue. Up till then, I think let's start. Let's not keep any more waiting. We'll have about 81 participants, which is a good number. So, and they're eagerly waiting to hear you, ma'am. So let's, Dr. Sant, maybe you can say a few words and then we start.
Thank you, Amitji, Chaitali, and Sudeep. I think this is one of the very good initiative of FFI. We talked about people. So when the person is there, he has got the IQ, which comes with him, and IQ can be improved. Then we are having various trainings to enhance his knowledge, skill, which through various programs, which could be functional knowledge. But the third thing, EQ, emotional intelligence, is the most important. If you have a knowledge, but you are not able to apply it the proper way, then you have sometimes more trouble. So I think emotional intelligence, it helps you to create your self-awareness. It helps you to self-regulate that how I will handle, how to have a social skill. See, people are knowledgeable, they may be master in their subjects, but they are not able to communicate to customers. Then they are in trouble. They are not able to communicate to their employees. They are not able to communicate with customs or the other regulators. Then you have trouble. And the another very important thing is all these things helps you to take a right decision making. So I look for emotional intelligence to have a right decision making, because I am having self-awareness, I am having self-regulations, I am having social ability. And last but not the least, but the most important thing is empathy. See, when we deal with various people, I think we need to have empathy. If I am able to put myself in his shoes, I am able to handle the situation much better. So I think with this word, I hand it over to back to Chaitali or Rama for this. We are eager to hear from you, Ramaji. Thank you for really accepting this, and we look forward. I'm quite sure that all the participants will have this very useful session and look forward for that. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Amit Bhau. Thank you very much, Sudeep, and thank you very much, Dr. Sant. Very well said, and pretty much covered the gist of what we are going to do. And before I hand over the baton to Rama, I would like to introduce her to all of you participants, some of you who may not know her from before. Rama Ravi Titi is the founder director of the Thi Siksha Group. She's based out of Chennai. She's also a fellow customs broker, so you can multitask and you could be multi-talented. And Rama is the perfect example of that. She is an international certified trainer, skills for growing, skills for adolescence, and skills for action. She's a master NLP neuro-linguist program practitioner, Someday we need to do a program on that too, Rama. A posh trainer, a corporate trainer, an empowerment coach, a personal branding coach, a Lions Quest trainer, FDI, which is a Faculty Development Institute graduate, a therapist, a cognitive behavioral therapy and SFBT, solution focused brief therapy. She teaches that. Member and trainer for the Madras Management Association, as well as the Madras Chamber of Commerce and Industry. She is a proud member of the women's wing of the Chennai Customs Brokers Association, as well as a proud member and trainer at FFAI. Without further ado, she is personally qualified as a customs broker in Chennai Customs Department, and her passion is for giving back to the society, which makes us lucky to have her on as a trainer. She is a recipient of the Hero Medal by the Lions International for New Voices, has received the Tejaswini Award by the All India Women's Association, and she has been awarded as Best Masters of Ceremonies, Best Teacher, and Best Social Worker. With that, I now invite Ms. Rama Titi to take over and teach us what is emotional intelligence. Thank you. Over to you, Rama.
Thank you so much, Chaitali, for that lovely introduction of mine. And before I start, I would like to thank the incoming chairman and Dr. Pramod Sant and Mr. Sudipte for your participation in this. And looking forward to hear from you once the program is done about the insight and what more can be added and what else can be improved upon. And I take this opportunity to welcome all the lovely participants, and here we go.
Sorry, just 1 minute. We will be having a Q&A session. So we request that the chat box is open. Please do put in your questions in the Q&A. Would appreciate it in the Q&A because it becomes easy for us to then go through them. And we would like an interactive audience. So if you have any comments and all, please do put that also. Thank you very much. Rama, over to you.
Yeah, thank you. The topic for today is the importance of emotional intelligence in the workplace. When I say in the workplace, we are concentrating on the freight forwarders and the custom brokers specifically. And why do we need emotional intelligence at the workplace? First of all, we all have the knowledge about our work and we are doing our day-to-day work. Isn't it? Life is moving on. Then why are we giving importance to this? The only thing is because we want to be better person than what we are today. So can somebody tell me, I don't want it to be a monologue. I want participants to participate and interact so that it can be more lively and more knowledge impart can happen. Why do you think it's important to have emotional intelligence in the workplace? Can somebody tell me? Why do we need that?
To the participants, please do put in your answers in the chat box over here. Thank you.
Okay, emotional intelligence in the workplace. Why is it important? Because it helps in improving the client relationship. It also helps in enhanced communication and builds a stronger teamwork. Then you are able to make better decisions and motivation and engagement of the staff and everybody around you so that you can bring out very good results. Now, what is this emotional intelligence? All of us are talking about it, but what is it all about? It is, if you can see this picture, you will see a heart and the brain. Brain, we can take it as rational thinking, and heart is the emotional thinking. Only when these two are in balance, you are considered as a golden brain person. You know, in our NLP neuro linguistic programming, we always say that a golden brain person can achieve anything in life because it's a stability. You are both logical and also emotional. So you know to take the right decision at the right place with the right person, which is very, very important. So the importance of emotional intelligence plays a major role in being the right person. So what is emotional intelligence? The ability to recognize and manage your own emotions. First, it's very important that you identify what sort of a person you are so that you will also be able to understand the other person well and deal with things in much, much better way than what we are today. Now, what are the key components? The key components, if you see, it is the self-awareness comes the first place. Once you're aware, you'll be able to regulate yourself better. And then comes the social skills. Once you are able to handle yourself, then you will be able to deal with the other person. For that, what is most important is empathy, because you need to understand the other person. For all these things, you need motivation. Motivation plays a major role in bringing all these four aspects like self-awareness, self-regulation, social skills, and empathy. So emotional intelligence comprises of all these five things. That is self-awareness, social skills, self-regulation, empathy, and motivation. So what is self-awareness? See, we are going to deal these topics in three phases. Okay, today we are just going to have a gist of what is emotional intelligence and what are the components of emotional intelligence, and to some extent understand it briefly, because each topic is an ocean. If you take self-awareness, it can go for 6 months. This program alone can go for 6 months, but we are going to be specific with the basic needs which are most important in our day-to-day life, especially at our workplace. So the next one will be stress management, which we'll be doing it in the next month. And then following it up, we'll be talking about some techniques, how to come out of your stress and how to handle your emotions and how to quickly be resilient and get back to your normal and proper shape so that you can handle things better. So right now, today, at this hour, we are going to talk about emotional intelligence and these five components. So first, we are going with self-awareness. Now, at the workplace, what is this self-awareness and how is it going to help us? First, you need to recognize when you are in a stressful situation, when a client is firing at you, or you missed out something, or somebody junior to you or senior to you has not cooperated. There is always a stressful situation. So in such times, recognize your emotions. Are you frustrated? Are you impatient? You're not able to handle, you get so much of anger that you misbehave, what it is, try to recognize. Then understanding how your emotions can impact. Many a times we only see the outcome of the other person, but we fail to understand the way we are behaving. That is why self-awareness is very important. First, you need to know that how you're behaving. Probably your behavior might have triggered the other person to behave in a certain way, which you may not like it. So, understanding how your emotions impact your interactions with clients and colleagues are very, very important. Then the third aspect is every individual born in this world has got his or her own uniqueness. But unless and until you work on your self SWOT analysis, you will not be able to identify it. And you always become a victim thinking that what others are thinking about you and that is what you are. So it's very important to identify your strengths and weaknesses in handling challenging situations. You need to remember one thing, that is no individual is perfect in everything. And no individual can be good to everybody in this world. If you take, even with God, there is a debate. Some people believe him, some people do not believe him. And if you take policemen are good for the public, but for the thief, he is the most hated person. So don't try to become a perfect person, but try to become a human. That is what self-awareness helps you in becoming. So once you identify your emotions, it's very important that you'll be able to regulate once you identify your spots, where you go wrong, where you get frustrated, what kind of situations really trouble you. Then you'll be able to manage your frustrations when dealing with especially delays and unexpected issues which we face day in and day out in our work. And then controlling impulses to react negatively to client complaints or difficult situations. Whenever the client calls up and he's at most anger and he's yelling at you, the very first thing comes to our mind is, baad mein jaye. Let us not have any relationship with this client. But later on, you will realize that you have made a great mistake and you have lost a client. So such difficult situations, especially when you encounter some impulsive reactions which are forced by the other person for you to take an action, such things will be able to control only when you become self-aware about your emotional status. So controlling impulses to react negatively to client complaints or difficult situation is very, very important. Then, of course, we have lot of techniques which we'll be seeing in the third workshop, the third month when we are going to proceed with this program. So practicing calming techniques, we all talk about it, but none of us find a way to do it, or we find this as waste of time. Many a times I have found people, like when I tell them, whenever your anger, just take that 10 minutes break or 5 minutes break, they'll say my life will come to an end. I can't do it. Tell me something with the same situation. How can I instantly? Because we are so used to fast food culture and everything fast. We want everything instantly. Instant food, instant things, touch of the Google, you get the information. So we don't have the patience with us. So calming techniques are must, not for anything else, but for your own self, which is very, very important. We need to give importance to all these things. So how it works, everything starts with your thinking process. So you need to work on your thoughts, because many a times problem starts the way you perceive the emotions of the other person or about yourself. Perceive means what? What you notice, how do you react, or how you relate that emotion of that person who is talking to you, or behaving with you, or dealing with you, or you are dealing with a client, his responses. The same way, even he has also got a kind of reaction towards you, the way he understands you, how he is perceiving your emotions. Everything plays a major role, but everything happens in the thought process. So when your thought process is not regulated, when your thinking becomes negative, that affects your emotions, and that will also disturb your feeling, which will be totally impacting your behavior towards the situation or towards that person. So you need to nicely regulate your emotions so that you get to a proper thinking with stability. So it becomes mandatory, I can say, to understand your emotions. It's not just enough if you understand your emotions, but you need to practice to manage it. Once you successfully, you're able to identify and manage your emotions, then that we call it as self-regulation. You'll be able to practice it. It may not be possible immediately, but over a period of time, you will definitely be able to achieve it. Now comes the social skills. Once you're comfortable about yourself, once you become friendly with yourself, many a times we don't respect our own self, and that is the reason for all the commotions, all the anger, all the frustrations, all the irritations that we show on other people. So what is most important is you need to love yourself and respect yourself. And to do these two things, your self-awareness and self-regulations plays a major role. So once you are in terms with your own emotions and your feelings and your thought process, then it becomes easy for you to get trained with social skills. Now, social skills are very, very important because it talks about the strong relationship that you will be building with your clients or your carriers and custom officials. You will be having thousands of problems physically, mentally, emotionally. You may be not stable, but when you go to a customer house or to your client, he is not bothered about your feelings. He is more concerned about how he is affected or how you are perceiving his emotions and how you are going to solve his problems. So when it is not possible for the other person to understand you, it is very, very important that you take care of yourself, especially the field we are in today, the freight forwarders and the custom brokers. We definitely have lot of challenges, not even a single day where we are comfortable and relaxed in doing our work. Day in and day out, we face lot of challenges. So you need to build and maintain a strong relationship with clients, carriers, and custom officials. For that, the key is communication. Communication. I always say in communication, active listening plays the major part. I used to call it as art of listening. When I say listening, many times we don't listen, we hear, and that also we hear to reply, because we decide something depending on the person you're talking to. You prejudge, you're prejudgmental, you're a prejudiced. So the moment that person calls you or start talking to you, you're ready with your answers and you always wanted to give back. We don't even listen to what he or she is trying to tell us. So the art of listening is the first and foremost important skill in communication. And in corporates, I used to take a half a day program in just on art of listening, because such an important skill that everybody has to learn to excel in whatever field they are, and especially to be a good human where people respect and look up for you. So active listening and effective communication skills plays a major role, very, very important role. So from today, at least take time to listen to people without interrupting, without looking into your mobiles, without concentrating on something else, physically present and mentally absent, and you might miss out on the emotional aspect of the person. So active listening means A stands for attend to the speaker. R stands for recognize what he or she is trying to say. You don't be prejudiced. Try to recognize from that person's point of view. And then T stands for take time to question or to respond. So that is very important. Then conflict resolution and negotiation skill. Resolution is very important and we have to deal with it. And especially with your clients and customer officials, you can't take a chance, because then your job is at stake. Even your company will be at stake. So conflict resolution is very, very important. Maybe in future we can have a special program done on that. And negotiation skills. I feel when a person feels that he or she is respected, respecting self and respecting others, the most important quality that person gains is negotiation skills. Especially in corporates, the most needed skill for every employee is negotiation skill. In fact, even at school level, we take programs on negotiation skill. And now why this negotiation skill is so important? What is so big deal about it? Negotiation makes you a person who feels that you're worth it. So negotiation plays a major role, whether as an individual, as an employee or an employer, or even as a student, or even as a human being. Everybody needs to develop this negotiation skill and building and maintaining a professional network. Sometimes you get emotionally attached with your seniors or with your peer groups or with your juniors, that you won't be able to draw a line for yourself. Sometimes you become a victim. So it is very important that you build and maintain a professional network. It is not only building network, knowing people, or it is not just that, it's something beyond. It is also how and where you place yourself. That's very important. Everybody needs to know their limits. Everybody needs to know the boundaries beyond which they should not step up, nor they should allow somebody to step in. So that is very important aspect. Building relationship, building a network is not just a network. It means a lot, and it needs lot of practice and a special skill, building relationship. Next comes empathy. Now people are going towards apathy. Where the IQ is high, there is no empathy. And that is why now the shift has happened from IQ to EQ. Earlier, wherever you go, your test is done for your IQ, but now it is slowly coming. If your EQ or your emotional quotient is high, you have been considered as a human being with all good qualities, and you are given importance. Even in corporate world, the importance to EQ is rising like anything. So understanding and acknowledging client concerns and frustrations are very, very important at the client level. Same way, in your own office, it's very important to you that you show the concern towards your employees, because our field is full of stress and full of challenges. And we should always remember, if our team is not there, we cannot run the show. So it's very important. Your focus should definitely be on the clients, but also the same amount of concern should be shown to your own employees. And you should be empathetic even towards your own self. You should not push yourself to such an extent that you feel life is a waste, or you feel that you want to give up. You lose the skill of resilience. So empathy plays a major role. So understanding and acknowledging clients' concerns, frustrations, your employees, and your own self is very, very important. Now, what is that? It means putting yourself in the shoes of others. It may be your employees or clients or colleagues or the carriers or anybody, even your family members, even though we are talking about in the workplace, but these things are applicable even into your family and your personal life, so that you are not a king in your business, but you're also a very well appreciated human being in your family also. Now, showing compassion and understanding in challenging situations, empathy plays a major role. And in fact, empathy, when we take classes on empathy, which is again a topic by itself, we segregate it in three parts, like cognitive empathy, then emotional empathy, and compassionate empathy. So empathy plays a major role, and many of us fail to understand what is empathy. For time being, let us understand it in this way, that putting yourself in the shoes of others, trying to understand the other person's emotions before you react to that person. So empathy is what? Seeing their world, appreciating them as human beings, communicating your understanding, most importantly, understanding their feelings. Many a times you are emotionally stuck that you fail to understand the other person's sentiments or feelings, and we just pour out to them, both positively, negatively, and it creates a lot of hurt and pain and hatreds. So empathy is very, very important. So you try to understand the other person's emotions, and empathy can be acquired only when you are self-aware and when you are able to regulate your own emotions. So empathy helps you to perceive others' emotions so that you are able to communicate better and help them to help you, so that there is a very, very nice environment around you in your workplace and also with the clients. Motivation. For anything to happen, there needs to be a motivation. And how motivation helps in emotional intelligence. Mainly, we have two types of motivation. One is internal and the other one is external. When it comes to emotional intelligence, we talk about the internal drive and enthusiasm that fuels us to perform better and be the best version of ourselves. So let's see why motivation is important in job. Why? Because motivation directly influences employees' performance and productivity. See, when you motivate a person, that motivation can be either way. It can be, external motivation is definitely important, especially in a workplace. When you reward that person, when you make him recognized, that motivates him a lot. Even then, unless and until there is an intrinsic motivation which he develops within, that needs to be created, that needs to be fueled by this external motivations. So motivation, many times we'll find employees who are capable but they don't perform because they lack that motivation. So such employees need to be identified and they need to be given pep talks and they need to be made to understand their worth, make them do the self-awareness technique so that they understand the power within them. So, motivation directly influences employees' performance and productivity. When employees are motivated, they are more likely to put in the effort. This all of us know, even us for that matter. When there are some takers, we feel extremely happy to give. Like, like this program itself. Like when we all decided to do this program and we find so many participation, it is a motivation for me as a trainer to give you more. So when employees are motivated, they are more likely to put in the effort, show their commitment, and strive for excellence in their tasks. They are driven to go that extra mile, leading to higher productivity levels. See, if you want to be extraordinary, I always tell people, whatever training programs I take, at the end, I always used to tell them, like, I strongly believe that nobody is born extraordinary. All are born ordinary, but they develop the necessary skills, attitudes, and behavior to become extraordinary. So we all have that fire and skill within us. The only thing is we lack a little bit of motivation. And I am sure emotional intelligence, if you work on it, definitely you will go that extra mile to become that extraordinary person that you want to see yourself. So the internal factors are also related to the external inducement. And there is always an intermediary adjustments because sometimes you have to mold yourself, you have to adjust yourself to the current situation and try to do accordingly. Now, let's see how motivation helps in self awareness, in self regulation, in empathy, and social skills. See, when it comes to self awareness, understanding your own motivation, what does it do? It drives you, what inspires you, and what demotivates you. All these things are very crucial. And it also helps you to identify what makes you to get motivated. The challenges or the recognition or helping the clients or achieving personal goals. What is your motivation? No one else can teach you, but you have to identify. External support can be there, but you have to work on yourself. That's why we say self awareness is very, very important. How your perspective about yourself will be entirely different when you do the self awareness analysis. Otherwise, you always think what others tell you what you are. You may not be that. You may be much better than what others are telling about you. But how will you know about your strength? Only when you do your own SWOT analysis, your strength, your weaknesses. Once you identify that, you will find so many opportunities around you which will help you to convert all your weakness into the mastery, your strength. So motivation helps you to identify all these triggers. Self regulation, motivated individuals are better able to regulate their emotions and maintain a positive outlook even during stressful situations. Many a times we face delays in our work, unexpected challenges comes, natural calamities can happen, like how COVID stuck us, everything came to standstill. Or we can get the most troublesome client with whom we have to deal day in and day out, isn't it? So when self-regulation is there, then you will be able to handle these situations in much better way. Then comes the social skills. Motivation can be influenced by strong team dynamics and positive relationships with colleagues. A supportive and encouraging teamwork environment fosters motivation. So, when you are motivated, even the environment supports you. When you're internally motivated, when you're self aware about your strength, and when you start believing yourself, then you will find opportunities around you which are motivating you and which will help you to deal with other people, your colleagues, your seniors, your juniors, your custom officials, your clients, everybody. You will have the necessary social skills to build a better, positive relationship, which will in turn help you to become a better person. Empathy. Understanding and connecting with clients' needs can be powerful motivator. Helping clients succeed and achieve their business objectives can be intrinsically rewarding. Many a times, the satisfaction what you get in doing something or helping others, when you find that somebody appreciates you or tells you, in time of need, he or she was very helpful to me, and I'm sure that day we feel like we have a great day because you have brought a smile in someone else's face, which is very, very rewarding. And you internally feel very much motivated, feel happy, feel that you are definitely a better person than what you were before. So empathy plays a major role in molding yourself to be a better person. And when you are empathetic towards your clients, imagine they build great trust on you. They start believing you. Even if there is a delay, even if there is an issue, they take you for confidence because they know that you are the best at it, and they will definitely trust you and give you the necessary time and value your words, and that will help your company, your employer to reward you because you handle that client in a very, very respectful and most amicable manner. So, friends, that is how motivation helps you in self awareness, self regulation, social skills, and empathy. Now, I thought I will give you all a small activity kind of thing. So, I have one activity for the freight forwarders and one for the custom brokers. So, the first activity, you all can make a note of it. Then, once you're done with it, you can put it in the chat box and then we can have a discussion over that. Okay. See, the first scenario is the frustrated client. The situation is a client calls, he's very furious because the shipment is delayed and it has the critical medical supplies. They express frustration and accuse the freight forwarders, that is, they accuse you for your negligence. Now, what type of emotional intelligence, like we read about, active listening, we saw about problem solving, we also discussed about empathy, we discussed about self-awareness, regulations, and all these things. So, what will be your emotional response to this client? I will give you 2 minutes, maybe 3-4 minutes you can take and then make a note of it. Of course, I will be telling you the answer from my perspective, how I would have handled by using emotional intelligence. And after that, we can definitely have a discussion over this. So the situation is a client calls furious about a delayed shipment of critical medical supplies. They express frustration and accuse the freight forwarders of negligence. So now you see how you can deal with it. And your response should be including the emotional intelligence. So I see some thumbs up. That means you have already with the answers. So I go with my response here. So the first thing is active listening. You need to calmly listen to the client's concerns without interrupting, and then show empathy. Acknowledge, we know he is upset. So acknowledge their frustration and apologize for the delay. You can say, I understand how frustrating this is, especially given the situation, given the nature of the shipment. I sincerely apologize, all these things you can say. And with self regulation, control the urge to become defensive, because 90% of times when somebody shouts at us, we immediately go defensive. So that we can definitely avoid. Once this is done, then problem solving becomes easy. So you can tell them, let me investigate this immediately. Can you provide me with the shipment tracking number? I will personally look into the cause of the delay and all these things, of course, with a time frame. So this is the first scenario. Now, can we go for the second scenario? Can I have some thumbs up? If I see a thumbs up, then I will go for the second scenario. Okay, thank you, thank you. Okay, so now the second scenario is the frustrated importer. An importer calls extremely agitated about a shipment being held at customs due to missing documentation. They are demanding immediate release and expressing frustration with the delays. Now, this situation, what will be your response which involves conscious emotional intelligence? Again, I read the situation. An importer calls, extremely agitated about a shipment being held at customs due to missing documentation. They are demanding immediate release and expressing frustration with the delays. If you are done, please show your thumbs up so that I can reveal my way of looking at it. See, already all of us are dealing with such situations, but we are unaware of our responses. So, emotional intelligence, once you practice, it makes you become aware of what you're doing. So, that gives you a space to change yourself. That's the most important aspect of it. So, I see a lot of thumbs up going up. So, let me. Oops, what happened? Yeah. Emotionally intelligent responses, again, active listening, calmly listen to the importer's concerns without interrupting. That's the key, without interrupting. Acknowledge their frustration and apologize. Then understand how frustrated they are, especially when your shipment is time sensitive. Many a times we get problems only with such important customers and important shipments, isn't it? So, first apologize, never go defensive. So, first apologize, show empathy, understand the situation, try to calm down and help him to calm down. Show him that you will definitely handle the situation and help him out from this terrible situation. Then your self-regulation should be, you must remain calm and very professional. When I say professional, don't take it to your heart. I told you earlier also, you need to draw a boundary. It should be professional relationship and nothing more than that, even in the face of importers' frustration. Then problem solving, give him that confidence, understand the situation, work with the officials, and try to help him and definitely update the client. Don't keep him in dark. So, with this, we have come to the end of the session for today. After this, we'll take some question answers. Friends, how much ever training is given, how much ever people motivate you, your success is your choice. So, wish you all the best and thank you.
It was an absolute mind-blowing session, Rama. Seriously. I
Thank you so much.
genuinely, I don't think any one of the 100 odd participants would not have understood as to how each one of us reacts to the same thing. And I would say confidently 7 out of 10 times, we would all have the same reaction. When you spoke about empathy, when you spoke about motivation and all, it was just so close because it's just not the self-awareness with us, right? The immediate knee-jerk reaction would be, how are you going to deal with the staff who's made a mistake? Vis-a-vis that, if it's the client's mistake, how are you going to deal with and all? So I think it's been an absolute brilliant session, genuinely very nice. And
Okay.
may I now please request our participants to give their Q&A. If they have any questions, please do give. I think we already have one question. Dr. Sant, would you like to say something?
Yeah. So Rama, excellent. And I like that way you being definitely involved as a custom broker and forwarder, the example and medical. I have been on that field for 25 years handling Siemens Healthcare from customer side. So I know my reaction initially when I become join a trade, and my reaction could have been little definitely moderate, but what you told, excellent. I mean, excellent. Absolutely. And this is what really make the people to understand what is happening, because I'm quite sure not only the shipment getting, but even the just email is not received also. Sometimes customer react that how your email I am not getting it. I mean, what you can do. So absolutely excellent examples.
Yeah, not to interrupt. Actually, I had one person who was totally, in depression in this line, who had a similar problem. And, he had to hear a lot of nonsense from his employer and also from the client. And he was literally under depression when he came to me. So I thought that one particular scenario will be apt when I take this program. Yeah.
You know,
So thanks to him.
but genuinely speaking, when you said first that when you need motivation, the external one, in today's times, it's become all internal. So everybody loves to receive praises, but people are so stingy with giving praises to either their vendors or to their partners or to their colleagues. It becomes very difficult. And even when you are at the same level, peer wise, work wise and all, if you don't have that free flowing form coming in, because it's easy to take it in, but it's very difficult. I have noticed this very often, that it's very difficult for people to say thank you, or to praise effusively, or to say something, and actually to say, let's say for example, to praise somebody within a small circle. But if you are outside socially, they become very aware of the fact whom they are standing with and whom they are with, and then those same thank yous or those same praises don't come through. And it happens to me so often that people forget to say thank you to me or to give credit to me, and it's a very standard thing. It's been happening for a very long time. So my father always tells me that you should introspect that, why is it that when they need you, you are the first person that they will call, and you're probably on the speed dial. But when it comes to acknowledging the work that you do or the help that you have given, it becomes very difficult for people to do. So this is such an important aspect, because as employers, many of us don't do it enough. As employees, many of us don't get enough and we don't reciprocate enough. So it's an absolute wonderful thing. I am going to take our question. We've got two questions. Shubha Vijay has asked, immediately talk to the importer and check what was the document needed. This is relating to your second question as to the document problem. Dilip Bhatt is asking, what strategies can we as customs broker adopt to build stronger, more cooperative relationships with customs officers? How can emotional intelligence play a role in resolving conflicts or enhancing mutual trust during daily interactions? Lovely question, Dilip Bhai. Lovely question.
See, the first thing is the active listening, because communication plays a major role, especially when it comes to the officials. The way you communicate, the way you make them feel that empathy, that you empathize and you understand his. See, it is not that custom officials are always on the upper hand. Sometimes even they are also forced to deal with certain situations, and sometimes it is out of their own hands, and they will have some seniors sitting above them who will be questioning them. So the best thing is, whenever they are at a high spirit, or when they are very, very not in a very good state of mind, the best thing is to listen to them with patience. Listen to them, understand them. Probably after he finishes blasting us, you can tell them, I'm sorry, I have hurt you, and I need your help. That's the better way. Instead of saying that my documents are correct, this is correct, that is correct, and you have done this, and this is not correct, I am getting it from my thing, and we also take care of you. All these things will only trigger it. It will only make the situation even more worse. So the best thing is to just accept whatever, because they are in that position. They wanted to vent out, they wanted to show their anger, and they wanted to show that they are important. So make them feel that they are important. So listen to them without interrupting, and then slowly make them understand that you are dependent on them, make them feel they are important to you. And that will be the first step. The first step is first actively listening to them. They may not hear you. They will refuse to hear whatever you're talking. But still, you have to listen to them. Once they complete their whatever they wanted to talk, and then, sir, give me few minutes. I respect whatever you have told. Now, please hear from my side, and I am here to take help from you. Please help me, bail me out of this situation. That's the only way you can deal with it, because this is not for that person, but for the chair that he has adorned. Yes. You're on mute, Chetali. I can't hear you.
Sorry. Thank you. Lovely explanation. I think that pretty much answers the question for everyone. We have Ms. Dhairya Totala, who is asking, how can we boost and leverage emotional intelligence for business success?
There are a lot of techniques which we will be addressing it in our third session. I'll be taking you through with simple techniques because, as I told you, every topic is a workshop. I mean, it takes a longer time, but I will be giving you some important tips and some simple techniques which will definitely help you. So keep watching, attend the next two sessions, so that will help you to understand it even more better.
Thank you. I think that's a very good answer. We have Mr. Piyush Arora. Good afternoon to all. This is Piyush Arora from Image Group. First of all, thank you for organizing this valuable and lovely session. You're welcome, Mr. Piyush. My question is, as the question asked by Ms. Rama ma'am, that how to handle that difficult situation of a frustrated client or a customer. But after analyzing that situation, two perspectives come. One is positive, and another one may be that the situation is beyond our control and we are unable to provide that what they want on an immediate basis. It means that it might just take some time. How do we handle them then?
See, certain situations are definitely beyond our control. If that is really beyond our control, the other person will also understand. But the only thing is, he is frustrated at that point of time when he is talking to you, because he is also equally under pressure, probably from his client or from his senior. He is also undergoing the same pressure. So, again, the first and foremost thing will be active listening. Listen to him, allow him to vent out. And if he is very important customer and he's giving you a lot of business and this really means to you a lot, then what you have to do is go personally meet him after the blast is over, then sit with him, tell him that you empathize, you understand, and even you also feel the same, and you feel you really regret that you are unable to help him out, which 100% you're also trying to do, and tell him that you will be there for him to go and meet anybody and help him throughout to come out of this situation.
Thank you. It makes so much sense and it's so important because as a customs broker and as a freight forwarder, we are pretty much stuck in between, whether it is our fault or it is our part fault, whether it is an airline, it's a shipping line, whether it is the customs, but we bear the brunt of everything. Now, our vendors and partners have the freedom to switch off the phones and go in hiding, not show their face for the next 5-10 days and then come back as if everything is okay and say, हाँ, लेकिन ये तो हो गया था, मैंने ये किया, वो किया, but we unfortunately don't have that. So it's very important, I think, to answer calls of our customers and like you said, go and meet them because sometimes it's difficult. And with the younger generation, with the newer bunch of kids, especially the millennials and the Gen Zs, the one common thing is, but it was not our mistake. Why is he or she yelling at us? So it becomes, it's very important for you to understand this factor. Thank you very much. Do we have any more questions coming in or shall we do this? Amit Bhau, Sudeep Da?
No, I don't think so. I think we are done. I mean, let people contemplate how they can improve their dealings, emotional. Actually, I've come to a place which is a little out of the city. So,
all right. No worries.
no, I think we are good for today.
All right. Before I have Shambhu Kumari give our vote of thanks, Amit Bhau, do you have anything to, would you like to say something? All right. Can I have Swati?
Madam.
Hi, can we have Shambhu Kumari in a access up? So
Yeah, I've made her a panelist.
Okay.
Here.
Hi, Shambhu Kumari, can you switch on your camera, please?
Yes.
Yes.
Good evening, all of you. Today, thank you so much for joining us today for this insightful webinar on emotional intelligence. I would like to extend my heartfelt thanks to our dignitaries and especially our today's speaker, Madam Rama Ravi Madam, for sharing their expertise on emotional intelligence. A big thank you to all of you, all the participants, for your valuable contributions and questions during this discussion. Today, we explored the importance of emotional intelligence, service before the sales, and people before the profits. Key components like self awareness, social skills, empathy, and motivation, IQ to EQ. First of all, listen to our clients and our employees, which will undoubtedly enhance our understanding of emotional intelligence. We look forward to seeing you at our next webinar and encourage you to continue the conversation on platform. Once again, thank you so much for all of you. Have a wonderful day. Thank you.
Thank you, Shambhu Kumari. Very well done. Extremely proud of you. So, Rama, this is the first time that Shambhu Kumari is on camera. She's speaking for the first time. And she is from Mundra. She has her own CHA license. She's part of our women's wing. She's also applied for her judgeship. So maybe she's going to be the future first judge from the logistics industry. And
Very
thank
proud
you
of her.
everyone for participating. We look forward to seeing you next month. And we will be uploading a video of this in the coming weeks, as well as if Ms. Rama permits, then sharing of these PPT so that you all have it with you. If you have any questions and you've been very shy to ask us now, please send it to the Secretariat and we'll be very happy to send it across to Ms. Rama for answering before the next session. And thank you very much. Once again, thank you to Amit Bhau, to Sudeep Da, to Dr. Sant, to our Secretariat for doing an amazing job every time, to Shambhu Kumari for doing this, and most importantly to you, Rama. Thank you for being
Thank
there.
you.
And
Yeah.
thank you for the first session. We look forward to the second session.
Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Tanuji.
Bye-bye.
Bye
See you.
bye.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Take care. Have
Bye.
a lovely
Bye.
weekend,
Bye.
people. Bye-bye. See you.
Yeah.
We will be announcing our next session shortly. Thank you. Bye-bye.